Hey YouTube, Wes Stampley here, JWS Repair Service. Gonna do a little something different today. We're going to not work on a four-wheeler, and we're gonna not rebuild an engine. We're not gonna do a carburetor. We're gonna go back to the OBS, the old body style Ford pickup that I have. It's a 89 7.3 diesel crew cab, lariat, long box, gigantic. What we're gonna do today is a 3G alternator conversion, and this is something that's really important for these older model trucks because, well, frankly, with the diesel, they put a very small alternator on it. I think it's a 35 amp alternator, something like that, which is not much. That may have been adequate back in the day, but if you add any accessories to it, any extra fans, things like that. I've got a fan for my air conditioner where when it comes on, it pulls air through the condenser, so it'll actually cool at idle, which they're prone to not do. Because the mechanical fan just doesn't pull enough air through. I've also got a transmission fan, transmission cooler with a fan on it, and then just any other stuff that's in the truck. I'm going to demonstrate to you what it's doing now, and then we're going to do the 3G conversion. I'll let you know what parts you need, all the little things that the in and outs of it. We're going to do that, and then we're going to test it again and see what we've got. So stand by. We're going to get set up to take some views of this. We'll be right back. Okay, we're going to test the battery now, and I'm just going across the primary battery, looking at the on the positive and negative, and you can see what we're putting out or what the battery has in it now. Looking at 1253. Okay, now, lovely assistant, would you start the truck, please? Somebody didn't cycle the glow plugs. And there we go. The alternator is turning on now. You might have noticed it took it a minute before it even turned on. So that'd be the regulator. And we're running. We're building back up. Let's see what it gets up to before we throw more at it. Back out just a little bit here. There we go. Charging right now. It's not really very good. That drop right there was from the dome light coming on. And it's not that these are bad batteries either. Okay, now the AC is running. See it? There we go. 1221 and dropping. Okay, now turn on the headlights. This would be a situation you would normally be driving in, AC and the headlights on. You can see now we're dropping lower. Now go tap the brake and hold it. This will be the brake lights coming in. That's got it dropping even more. Anyway, as you can see, go ahead and turn everything off and kill it. The headlights off, AC's off. But as you can see, that's not really charging much at all. So we're going to do a 3G. This will be an internal regulator. Get rid of the external regulator. and it's going to go from the 30 to 35 amp that it's got to 130 amp. That actually, going by the literature in with the alternator, tested at 161 amp. So we're going to see how that works. We're going to get some stuff together, and we'll be right back. Okay, now first things first. Around here at JWS, we have a motto: safety is a word, but it is also something you should follow as well. So before you do anything to your electrical system on your vehicle, disconnect the battery. Very important. We're going to disconnect it, and well, I'm probably not going to remove it because it's really not in the way, but I'm going to at least disconnect it just so that we've got no chance at shorting stuff out and things like that. So be safe, take your time, disconnect your battery. Okay, we're going to start off by just removing the old alternator unit, and that'll consist of removing this the tensioner bolt. Well, it's not really a tensioner, but where you would tighten the belt up and slide it over. Like so. Alright. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's a 5/8, so the top one's a 9/16. This bottom one's going to be a 5/8. And we will get this loose. Wow, I didn't even have to grunt on that. It's not that it wasn't tight, it just had a good angle on it. Alright. You may have to loosen this vacuum pump belt, or it may walk off of there, we'll see. And of course this bolt, I think, bolts to the rear end. I think it's about 17 feet long. No, not really, but it just seems that way. Let's see. Well, I tried grunting that time, but it didn't do anything. It's one of those that it's loose, but it's not loose enough to finger it. So we're gonna, so many jokes, but I'm gonna leave them alone. But can't quite get that. It's not finger tight, but it's barely enough to need the wrench, but just not quite enough to spin out. So okay, is that better? Oh, good grief. I do think I can get this vacuum pump belt off. Just walk that off of there. There we go. I think I can get the alternation belt off too. Just get it out of the way. Maybe. And yeah, maybe. And there we go. The alternator belt's off. Now, we can just get this stinking stupid dang bolt to come out. There we go. And of course it hits the fan shroud. I wouldn't have that any other way. Let's move that heater hose out of the way. And is it possible? Is it? Oh man. There's a dimple in that shroud just a little bit below where it needs to be. Let me see, did that do it? Come on, baby. Do me like that. There we go. Well, it's nice enough that there was a little dimple in that shroud right there that I was able to get that bolt. It just hit the top of it. I was able to get that bolt, wallered around in there, and get it out. So just enough to get it done. Alright, hopefully we're sitting still. Alright, now we can start pulling this monstrosity out of here. And yeah, it is a monstrosity. To not put out any more than it does, there's a plug back here. Let's see, there's a wire. I think that's the charge wire. We need to get 7/16 maybe, and maybe a 5/16. You know, we're gonna get these wires off of here. But this, it's amazing how massive this alternator is to not put out any more than it does. And I have put I want to say probably 3 of these alternators on here in the last maybe year and a half. And this one's still charging some, as you saw, but the other ones, they just nothing. This didn't charge at all. Now, I don't necessarily believe the gauge on the dash because, well, it is a 35-year-old truck, but the you know, whether it shows charging or not, I can tell it's not charging when, you know, I stop somewhere and the battery's down after I've been running. But put a meter on it and find out you're just, you know, you're not putting out anything. It doesn't go for long running on the battery by itself if you've got really anything turned on, because it's obviously it's always holding the fuel solenoid open if it's if the engine's running, so it's holding that open all the time, so that's taking constant power. I don't know how much that draws, but you know, typically little solenoids like that are they're gonna draw something, that's for sure. Okay, and we've got our little negative off here. I believe that's just going to the, well, that's just going to a negative. So we're not, this will be some of the harness that we're removing, or we won't be connecting. The new alternator has a completely different setup, and I'm going to show you what that's all about and where to make your connections. So no fear, we are here. Okay, there's the big monstrosity. It said it feels fine, spins fine, everything's good. Hell, it even looks still looks pretty good, but it does not work well enough to worry about it. And this is a reman too. I don't know if you can barely read it there, but it's a reman. That's the only thing that you can get that's a direct replacement for these is a reman. I have not found a new one. So we're going to set that aside, and we're going to get some of the new stuff over here. I'll be right back. Okay, let's get this old regulator out of here. There we go. And we won't be re-needing that. And that is just a negative going to the chassis. So that's not going to matter either. Could just unplug the connector here. I mean, who knows when you might need a negative going to the chassis. Man, that thing looks like crap too. Look at that wire. I think it's burnt up. Yeah, it is. And that wasn't a very good negative at some point. Definitely got some corrosion on it. Well, I didn't want to unplug that anyway. Alright. Well, that's some of the stuff we're not going to need. We're not going to need this regulator. We'll take that off. Don't need that anymore. And look at that. How pretty that was on the bottom. Anyway, whoops, I might have dropped it. Okay, now this wire that's here was the charge wire coming off the back of that alternator. We're not going to need that anymore either, because we're going to run a wire from the alternator, a new wire from the alternator. We don't need the old one on here, which looks pretty bad anyway, so we're going to cut that off. I may need to fix that. Well, no, that's going into the, okay, never mind. Never mind. And then on this end, we'll go ahead and just get it out of the way down here. Then that's gone. And then we just really don't need this plug either, so we're going to get rid of that. Now, we don't want any of this stuff. It should be dead on both ends, but we're just going to kind of make sure that's out of the way. We don't want it getting up all up in something. Okay, so that's the removal of the old stuff. Let's get the new stuff over here and start bringing it in. Okay, as far as the new wiring harness goes, I bought this on Amazon. It was about 80-90 bucks, I think, but for having all new wiring, the nice big heavy new charge cable, This pigtail is very important because that plugs up to the new alternator. You buy the little cheapy plugs, they won't come with this stator plug down here. You're going to need that. So this kit just came with everything, with the heat shrink and everything. One part number, it'll fit, good to go. Now let's look at the alternator. Alternator came from Rock Auto. There's the part number. It is for a 92 E350 with a 7.3 diesel in it, the 7.3 IDI diesel. That is not the F for the truck, but the E for the van. So the 1-ton, 92 1-ton van with the 7.3 diesel. Now, not the one that has the ambulance conversion. The one that has the ambulance conversion, I understand, has 2 alternators, and they're both different. So, looking at this alternator, now there are 2 versions of this alternator. It'll be whichever one your truck has. Now, mine has the double V belt, so be sure you order it with the double V pulley. If you don't, you're going to have to swap your pulley. Hopefully it fits, but the other option is a serpentine belt. So you'll see that the plugs are different. Here is your regulator right at the back. There's that special little plug that it needs right there. And let me switch this camera. This camera is way too high. I'm almost have to step on my tiptoes to show you stuff. All right. So there's the regulator. There's the plug. There's that little single plug for your stator right there. And this will be where your charge wire comes off and goes to your battery, where I'm going to put it, or to the solenoid. But anyway, that's the unit. It's a direct bolt in. It fits just like it. No adapters, no spacers, no nothing. The only problem we may have, this bolt hole is now supposedly metric. We're going to find out about that. If it is metric, it's going to be an 8 by 125 or 1.25 thread pitch bolt. And I've got a set of them over here. I'll tell you which one you need as far as length goes. But we'll get to that here in a minute. But anyway, that's what the equipment looks like. Okay, we've got our harness out. We've got our alternator set up here. We're going to take our harness. It's going to plug in here. And that clips in nicely. This little pigtail, well, no, not like that, but this one with the little super special connector on it, we're going to put it right, because that is a little bitty connector. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that is a teeny thing. Good grief. Okay, we're going to plug that in right there. That'll go to our stator. This, we're going to grab a negative on here somewhere, and then we're going to run a negative somewhere else to it. So let me just go around that bolt. I don't think that's going to be a problem. This will be the outside of it. So there we go. And then we're going to need to make this cable the length that we need it to be for the charge cable. So let's see. Let me go grab a wrench and go ahead and get this negative hooked up, and then we'll be right back. Alright, so we've got our negative attached. You can see I just took the one bolt out of this. Is 8mm. Took it out, took the one black wire, I think it's black with the red, with the ring terminal already made on it, and it's mounted to it. So, and there's O'Reilly. Say, everybody say, hey, you say hi to YouTube.
I'll come around the other direction.
Oh, he must be camera shy. Well, he's bringing us another battery for Betsy here, because she had a bad battery. So we don't want to start off with a new alternator with a bad battery. So now we've got a good battery. And the lovely assistant is hauling it in here. Alright. Now we're going to pause for uno momento while I check these connectors in the bag. Okay, we're going to make our charge cable now that goes on the back of the alternator. We're going to take, now all these connections and terminals and all that came with the kit. So you're pretty good on that stuff, being able to get it done. I'm just going to cut this insulation. I normally would use a wire stripper, but this is kind of big, so I'm going to use a cable cutter. because I need the cable cutter anyway. Is this too, are y'all seeing that, or is it too low? That's kind of low. Set that down some. No. Like that. Okay. Now what we're going to do is, well, we strip this off. I'm going to take one of the small terminals with the big end on it because it fits right on here. And we're going to crimp that on there like so. But before we do that, we're going to put the little rubber cover all over it. This rubber cover, if we can see it, there we go, goes on this. Sorry, I'm trying to work backwards here. Lovely assistant, can you just do this, please? So keep this stuff in shot. Okay, I'm going to take the rubber, stick it over it, because remember, it ain't safe without a rubber. Ugh, did I say that out loud? Okay, alright, we're going to slide that down. And then we've got the end of it we're going to put on here and crimp. And I'm going to hand over to my lovely assistant to show you how we do that with a simple mechanical cable crimper. Now, we make a lot of cables around here because we work on golf carts. And every time we redo an electric golf cart and put a $2,000 set of batteries in it, we replace the cables. Because, you know what? Cables are a lot cheaper than batteries. And cables will kill those batteries. So, we normally, to make those connectors are pretty tough. We put that in an arbor press. But for this, these terminals are pretty small, not that incredibly strong. Strong enough, but we can just hit it with a hammer and do it that way. But like I said, we normally would put this in the arbor press, and we got a nice. Wow, well, he did get it in there, but dang, lovely assistant, you kind of almost screwed that up. That's good enough. I would prefer it went all the way through, but it's on there so stout it ain't coming off. So plus this rubber will fit completely over that and cover it up. Okay, so what we're gonna do, can you check the camera? We're gonna do, put this up here. Let's go ahead and get that connected. And let me guess, that's probably a friggin' 10 millimeter that I don't have over here. Okay, we'll go ahead and tighten that up. Alright, that is, as we say in Germany, guten Tag. I don't know, I apologize for that. Okay. There we go. We've got our rubber where it's supposed to be. All of our wiring is complete on the new unit. So, now it's going to be a matter of trying to wrestle this bad boy back in here. So, lovely assistant, you're going to have to do some camera work there. And you might notice I am dropping stuff down in there. I'm not cutting any of the wires yet. They're way too long. But I'm not cutting them until I get them to length to where I see they need to be. Because then we'll worry about it. Okay. Let's get this bottom pivot back in there. There we go. Now let's see if I can hold my mouth just right and get this bolt back in. Things go up a little bit. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, come on. Come on, baby. Don't do me like that. Come on, you're right there. There we go. Well, that's a lot cleaner behind it too. It's not as close as that other alternator was. There's actually a little bit of room back there. Imagine that. Okay, now this is the factory bolt. Hey, let go of that. And no, it does not fit in there. Okay, we're going to grab, it looks a little bit long, but that's an 8 by 125 by 25 millimeter. So 8 by 125 is the thread pitch, 25 millimeter is the length, so that's about 1 inch long, and then we'll just screw that in there. Before we do that, we're going to put the El Belto back on. And make sure we get that in the right groove. And let's see about that vacuum pump. Because you don't want to forget your vacuum. We're going to tighten that vacuum pump up down there. You don't want to forget to tighten up your vacuum pump, because otherwise that don't suck. And you want it to suck. Okay. Now this will be a 10 millimeter now. Probably going to need to tighten that up with something else, but we're going to do it like this for right now, just for giggles. But that's about where that needs to be. But that there vacuum pump is loose. But the alternator belt's fairly tight. Okay. Now we're going to run our wires over, now that we know how long they are and where they need to be. Get that out of the way, because I'm going to worry about this charge wire first. Because that's going to go down here to the maxi fuse, which I mounted right here. It does come with self-drilling, self-tapping screws to mount it, but I already had a hole there, so and you should too. So about there's the right length. We will cut that about there. Set that aside. Now the lovely assistant, you're going to have to do that up here on the battery. Good thing you don't have to hit it too hard. I'll swap with you there. I know we go from dark to sunshine. It's like throwing the white balance, just mind-boggling it. Trying to figure out, do I lighten, do I darken, do I lighten? Did you mash it? It was kind of mashed. I don't know if that fender's strong enough. That battery's going to be stronger than that fender.
There we go.
Did it just pull out? Oh yeah, it just, okay, that wasn't good enough. Did it fit back in there? I'm thinking that wasn't smashed enough on there. Oh, it did fit back in there, huh? Cool. Okay, I would recommend not doing that though, because usually you don't get that lucky. And they did not supply extra of these sizes, so if you really cock it up, you're gonna have to go get another one. But luckily, he was able to get it back in there. Hey, you hit it hard enough when stuff starts falling off somewhere else. That's kind of my rule of thumb. It's like, you know, when dinner's ready when the fire alarm goes off. All right, you got that on there good, lovely assistant?
I do.
All right. Oh God, we're not getting married. All right, let's see.
Oh, hope not.
Oh yeah, hope not. That'd be very awkward. Okay. Now that gets us. Oh, well, I forgot we don't have that over. That gets us to here, and we're gonna put that on there. That looks like a freaking 9 or something. That show ain't no 10. Maybe that's 3/8. What do I do with that 3/8? That is a 3/8. Okay. We are cooking with gas. Get that good and tight. And then we'll take this and this will be our charge wire. So I'm going to leave some extra read all about it on there just for if we have to cut the ends off of it in the future. We'll go ahead and strip this down. Whoops. Strip it down. No. Okay, lovely assistant. If you can smack that on there. Smack that all on the floor. And that's funny too, because you are on the floor. And the other one was saying give me some more because it wasn't smacked enough. So smack it. That sounded firm. Yeah. Alright. Okay, now we're just going to hook this up to the other side of the maxi fuse. And we'll put our safety rubber on there. Yeah, I wonder, should we have heat shrunk that? I mean, it's kind of open, but kind of not. I guess we could have, but if you want to get fancy and heat shrink it, I mean, it does come with a shrink tube that you can put on the ends of these, I guess. Wow, I'm doing great knocking stuff down there. Man, now I wonder if we ought to do that. It's sticking out a lot further than I thought it was gonna. I thought that rubber cover was gonna get it, but might ought to go ahead and give this some shrink. I know everybody's just waiting for me to touch those two turbos together with that wrench and watch the pretty sparks come out, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Well, at least on purpose anyway. Okay. I'll take that. Get the little shrink tube. We'll put that on there. And then we'll go get a heating device. Okay. Now I got a little map gas for a little heat. That's a lot of heat. Well, that tube was strong. It didn't want to just shrink there. Okay, we're going to let that cool off for just a minute. Put that down since it's going to fall off anyway. Let's go ahead and shrink this one. Who said a brick nose can't do new tricks? Okay. Alright. Oh, why not? Let's do this then. Already got the gas over here, so. She's so fancy, you didn't even know. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Let's see, is that hot? Ah! No, that's not too bad. Okay, so we got our rubbers everywhere. Oh, you didn't. Yeah, whatever. I remember the first time I drove a truck. Alright. Let's get this tightened back up to the maxi fuse, and then we'll be all shrink wrapped and official. There we go. Okay, now we'll put the cover back on it, and we should be all in good shape if I can get it to slide into that groove. There we go. And then slide into that groove, just like that. Okay, that's good, that's good. Here is our, man, that's an accessory cable. There's our charge cable. There's our positive. We're not going to hook the negative up at this time because we still got a couple wires to hook up. So just going to hook those up to get them out of the way. Okay, that's pretty good. All right. Okay, so back to wiring here. I'm going to go ahead and get our additional wires hooked up. Now the charge wire I have coming from the maxi fuse and just going to the positive side of the battery. The easier way to get a hold of it. Not a big hubbub. It wants you to go to the old wires to get your battery positive. I don't like the way those old wires look. So since it's always just going to be a battery positive anyway, I'm going to take this yellow wire, it even says on here, put it to a constant battery positive source. So I mean, we'll just do it like that. We're just going to put it on the battery terminal. In the meantime, I'll also change those awful battery terminals out. Oh, there are the strippers. Yay, now we can be fancy. Okay. It's all about being fancy. Okay. Alright, crimp that on there nice and good. As a matter of fact, I
got you a little torch for it.
Oh, you got me a little torch? Yep. Oh, okay. Well, you don't mean to be using the giant barbecue torch? Because remember, safety's a word.
Alright.
Thank you.
You're welcome. No, I just figure at least that would be a little less heat.
Well, I tell you, Mother Nature's got it hot enough today, considering it's October. What, about 95?
Probably, I don't even know, honestly.
Oh, it's hot. It's hot, and not in a good way. Alright, so we're going to put our battery positive there, so we got an excellent connection. We're going to put our negative directly to the battery negative. We'll have an excellent connection there as well. Nice and tight. Dang it. Those wires are just getting caught in everything. Alright. Set that up there. Okay, we don't need that wire yet. That's going to be a switched wire. We're going to do this like so. Cut it out right there. Just see if it said anything on it. It didn't. There we go. My rain terminal. There we go. And the torch. There you go. And that puts that on there. Okay, now if you would go in there and just turn the key on. I just want to confirm that I've got the key positive under here. I'm pretty sure it's the right one, but I just want to double. Hey, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I didn't think those colors looked right to me, and they didn't. Give me a butt splice, please. All right, here, I'll get it. I need to splice my butt. Why'd you have to splice your butt? Well, it had a crack in it. Ha! That's funny. I don't care who you are. Oh, let's see. Let's see if we can get this in there. Come on, baby, don't do me like that. Not the easiest place to get to.
No.
It goes down in the big shrink tube just fine, but when you try to get it in the actual connector, it doesn't like that. Come on now. There it goes. Okay, now one more time. I just want you to hit the, turn the key on just so I can triple confirm that this is what I want. That is what we all want. That's it. Okay, you turn it off. Okay. I like to make sure everything is right before we crimp. Oh, I didn't need two of those. Go to the same wire. And let's see. Tuck that in. Oh, I guess I should strip the wire first. It'll probably make it a whole lot easier to get it in here. This is some pretty heavy gauge wire they used in this kit. I gotta say, I'm not disappointed with what they supplied in the kit. I mean, yeah, it was expensive, but they gave you good stuff to do it with rather than have to dig around and go to the hardware store and O'Reilly and wherever else trying to find the right things to put on it. These people did the guesswork for you, and all you gotta do is hook it up. We got a few little zip ties that it came with. We can go ahead and tie some of that back up. Get that out of the way, then we're going to break for just a second on the filming because all I'm going to do is tighten up the vacuum pump belt, and then we're going to give it a shot here and see what she does now. All the plugs though. Okay, we got everything tied up, wrapped up, tools moved. Let's see what she does. There goes the glow plugs. Wow, that's already recovering way better. Start throwing a load on her. See what she does. Alright, there, hit the AC. Hotter than hell anyway. Turn that damn shit on. The AC's on. Now we were already deep into the 12s when the AC was on early. And mind you, this battery is not fully charged. It was run down, so that's pretty decent. Let's go ahead and hit the headlights. Oh, it didn't even move. Okay, yeah, it didn't even care really when you turn the headlights on. This is charging substantially better than before. Now hook the second battery up and those other things we can try to transfer with. Now right for this purpose, for testing purposes, we only hooked the one battery. We got a brand new battery over there, but I wanted it to show you what it does with the old battery that's in it that was not fully charged. I wanted to see what it was doing. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's solid charging right there. because this is just an idle thing. Show you. That's the fan for the trans cooler right there. You can see it's running, and then that's the fan for the AC. You can see that it's running. And those two fans together pull a lot of voltage. As you can see now, we got everything running at idle, and we're charging just fine. We got both batteries hooked up now. AC's running, blowing nice and cold too. I'm gonna go get in there. And there's our other battery. This is last year's battery. It ain't ancient, but it ain't new. But anyway, alright, let's do it. Outro. Alright, everybody. I hope you found this helpful. I hope maybe you learned something and went along with us. You know, maybe even got a laugh or two out of it. I know I was laughing. But anyway, we appreciate you tuning in. Catch us later. We're going to have all kinds of different content now. We're going to have a new one coming up with the ATVs. We're going to have a twin rebuild, a 900 Ranger. Total engine failure, rod bearings, that. We're going to rebuild that all the way from the cases. So that'll be coming up on JWS Repair Service. And that's about it. I appreciate you watching the video. Be sure to like, subscribe. It's free to you. But it sure helps me make more content like this and bring more to you. So have a great day. We will catch you on the flip side. Peace.